one day at a time. They're inspired me. And DMX was one. He's a poet, a rapper. He passed away today at the age of 50. And I reflect on his life. His life was the good and the bad, which all of our lives are. And when your life is in public like his was, you show both sides, the good and the bad. And I think about, even though he struggled with drugs most of his life, he still inspired and helped me through the inspiration of his songs, of his poetry. And I think about those who struggle with addiction. Great to see you, Twister. Thank you. I think about those who struggle with addiction and the embarrassment that it may bring. But again, it's like, good to see you, Andre. Some people struggle in public and some people struggle um, privately. We all struggle. Some struggle with drugs, some with food, some with gambling, some just with life, relationships. So, what could I tell you about someone's life when they die at the age of 50 from an overdose? Well, I could tell you that, they're still a child of God. They still were used, at least in my life. I had several people I would say I knew throughout my life that struggled with drugs, but they still blessed me. They still looked after me, encouraged me. Great to see you, Brandon. Thank you. And, I think about this one guy. He was an older guy. He struggled with drugs, but he was always, he was there for, he was a good mentor. He was a good friend. His family, good people. And as I get older, you learn that everyone has something. You don't understand this when you're young. When you're young, you look up to everybody like they're supposed to be perfect. But it's just not the case. Certainly, again, you have to remove yourself from toxic people. You learn that as you get older. This isn't really about that. I mean, everyone has to make their own decision with that, and I understand that. Because I would certainly not recommend, right, that you stay in a relationship with someone that's addicted to drugs and you don't need to be around that relationship because that's not healthy for you. But it's like, it still doesn't have to avoid the good things that they shared, and that's the challenging part about life is that we try to separate the two things, the good and the bad. But humans are a mixture of both. There's no way around that. And everyone has their own gifts and their own curses, so to speak. But I remember, good to see you, Pluto. Great to see you, man. How's everything in California, man? Love to you. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I think about that. There was many songs. Every album, he pretty much had a song called The Prayer. And, he would just share what he was going through, but in a prayer. Peyton Nolan, $14.99 super chat. Good days and bad days. Yep, they're both. Good weeks and bad weeks. Oh, yeah. Tough times don't last. You showed me that. Well, Peyton Nolan, thank you. I'm trying my best. I'm trying to really focus on now this next season of my life, however long it is. None of us know tomorrow. DMX died at 50. Of course, played a part with drugs. But tomorrow's not promised. But I said to myself this week, it's time to pivot to another level or to just remember certain things and go back to certain things. We lose our way at times, and many times that's what DMX is talking about. He has a song called Slipping, Falling, Can't Get Up. We lose our way for a variety of reasons. Many is drugs, some you can name it, okay? And that's what I say, that I really try hard not to push religion on people anymore because I like us to evolve as humans and show a common level of respect and dignity and not divide amongst people or countries because that's just hurtful to everyone. But I still believe in a basic faith with grace. Again, you got to have boundaries. You got to have regulations of laws, and as far as you can't just let anyone. It's not about a lawless, immoral society, but it's about that, a level of grace. Um, Out of all the things that we go, out of all the things we go through in life, towards the end of our life, many people realize the need for grace. And many people struggle when they lose a loved one and they never got to say their grace. And I have empathy on that. So thank you very much, Peyton Nolan. Pluto, what is your deepest sadness, Sammy, in life? Anxiety, fear of, having everything taken away, and just hurting and suffering. And I try to focus on just one day at a time, and because there's so many things to worry about. I mean, in today's society and in all times, I guess if you look at human history, and that scares me, and then that makes me anxious, and then I get you have like a panic attack, um, and you get yourself all worked up, and that's a real thing. Even like I used to watch The Sopranos, and Tony Soprano, even though it was a movie about a mob boss from New Jersey, as tough as he was, as powerful as he was in this TV series called The Sopranos, this mob boss still suffered with panic attacks. Now, part of it, was the lifestyle he was living, which induced some of that. But I always tried to remember that as a lesson, or you just something that sticks out in your mind, because I think, I don't know how everyone else deals with life, but at times I work myself up. Sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad way. It's like, the bad energy. It's hard to get rid of bad thoughts when you're in that bad zone, and you don't feel good, and you're fearful, and it's just like, as I get older, and as I think people get older, you realize the fragile, how fragile life is. When you're in your teens and 20s, you feel bulletproof, or you feel, strong. Nothing can stop you. For the most part, there's exceptions. Some people struggle their whole life trying to get strength. But, for the average person, as they start to age, what you realize is that everything can change like this. You can make all the right decisions or all the wrong decisions. There's, not an exact science there, as far as that. So obviously we hope to make better decisions than bad. And we also hope for God's grace when we make a bad decision. Because I think about, oh my God, I just made a bad decision. And all I could do, there's no wisdom that can get you out of a bad decision. I mean, as far as like, that moment, it's only grace. And that's what I lean on even still today. And, you pray God or whatever you believe in, you don't believe in, but just you reach out to some place in the spirit where you just ask for forgiveness, help, mercy, and I've been in hospitals several times throughout my life and watched people at the end of their life and watched them pass away. I had many experiences, and then even one experience where I worked with a guy in New Jersey when I was electrician in construction at Morristown Memorial Hospital. And he was in his 50s. Now I guess he's in his 70s. And his wife had got cancer in her 50s. And they were hoping to build like a cabin house in Pennsylvania and retire. And they did everything right. They worked hard their whole life. They lived a simple life. They were good people. And I bonded with this guy because when I was studying for my electrical, I was preparing for the third exam, and he had passed the exam. So at lunch, what I would do is I'd get my lunch pail and stuff, and we'd sit on sheetrock in an unfinished, like hospital room. There was an expansion they were putting on in Morristown Memorial Hospital. It's finished now, obviously. But, at that time, it was just like studs and sheetrock. We were sitting on the sheetrock, and we would just go over like, some mathematical formulas, some calculations for electrical theory. And he really helped me. And I passed the exam on the third time. I was so excited about that. And like a little bit after that, his wife had gotten sick. And he kind of knew at that time I was really into the church. I was really into spirituality. And we bonded. And then when his wife got sick, me late at night, and he said, Sam, my wife is dying of cancer. He goes, I don't think she's going to make it through the night. He goes, I took her home. She's on an oxygen, like a tank of oxygen. He goes, I ask you, please come and pray for us. And I'm in my 20s, so, but I was, at that time I was really spiritually solid. Obviously I was a little probably too religious, but I was trying to figure it out, And I said, sure, and I got in my car and I went over there, and her sisters were in the room and they were just watching TV. It was weird. And this guy was like, he was devastated. Rightfully so. His wife was dying in front of his face. And we go to the room, and sure enough, she's on this oxygen machine, and she's frail as a bone, But she has a very welcoming spirit. She saw me and she was immediately welcoming. And I just, I knelt down, I prayed with both of them. My main prayer was just that, God give her comfort. Give her comfort. And, I stayed there for a while with them, and then I left. And then the next morning she passed away. But I thought how fortunate I was to come. I thought, when someone calls you when their wife is dying, they're like, that I felt like, man, that's humbling, And there's been a few times in my life, where I've seen that. And, I've gone through my seasons of life where I feel different ways about different things. But hopefully sharing some of these stories are helpful in some way. Wandering off. I think most people feel anxious nowadays. I agree. So much uncertainty. It's so much. Everybody I talk to feels that way. It's very hard. It's like I would definitely say you're right. Wandering off, and I believe Aline. I don't know if I believe that's the name. So yeah, all I could tell you is one day at a time, because I feel it myself. So I say one day at a time. I'm very thankful for today, very thankful for my health, my well-being. And all we can do is take life one day at a time. Thank you. I agree. Wendy, what's up, Wendy? How are you? True words of encouragement, Brother Samuel. Thank you. I'm trying. I'm trying every day to do the best I can within that day. And life is just a series of days. So I say to myself, get through the day, do what you can. There may come days where you can't do certain things. So I don't know. Again, I go back to I don't have all the answers. I know I gotta roll down these windows. But conference my mom today, so I'm thankful another day I got to see her. Thankful that it was a gorgeous day in Florida. Thankful, for my well-being. ESP, hey ESP, that shows the kind of person you are to be called such a life moment. I'm glad you were able to offer some comfort to your friend and his wife. No, I appreciate that, ESP. Great to see you. How you doing, ESP? How was your week? Yeah, it's a humbling thing, and I always think about, I tried, here's another thing I'll share with you guys. I tried to stay in touch with him, and I did. I stayed in touch with him like for months, even about a year after that. But eventually what happened was he was struggling on what to do next. And he was going through a lot of pain. I mean, eventually I think, he accepted it, right? There's stages of grief. But it's like even that we outgrew the friendship. There was nothing bad. There was just like, I'd call him, sometimes he'd call me, and we just couldn't catch each other. And then it just faded away, But, for that moment, that was an impactful part of my life. ESP, I've been playing some DMX songs on repeat today, blasting it. No neighbors nearby. Well, shout out to you. Still in the Airbnb? How's that going? And are you still considering going back in the van for the summer? Sam, I know you don't like the Gulf side of Florida, it's true. But St. Pete Beach is #1 in the country and #5 in the world. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people like the West Coast. I don't think I've ever been to St. Pete Beach. I've been to Tampa. I've been to Fort Myers, Marco Island, Naples. And I have a couple great friends. They like Fort Myers. So again, it's just that's like personal preference. I know they have those ratings online, but like it's kind of personal preference. What type of there's just all I can tell you is that there's different energies in different towns, and everyone has like their own energy, their own vibe, right? So and there's a certain amount of traffic in certain places, a certain not, a certain culture in some, certain not. So yeah, that's true. ESP. Until the end of the month, I'm here. Oh, okay. So a few more days, I mean, less than 30 days. I'm back in the van in May. Well, you must have mixed feelings, right? It's like, you're probably a little bit happy, a little bit sad. I could see that, a little bit scared, because going back in the van is, it's a freeing thing. It's fun to sleep in it, but it's also a primitive life, but, do it while you can. That's what we all should realize today. We lose another person. Do what you can when you can do it. Pay to Nolan, man. Thank you, man. 499 super chat. Thank you, man. DMX, yeah, Lord, give me a sign. I remember I used to play that all the time. Got me through middle school. Well, amen. I would say got me through. I mean, I shared this, but it's just a funny story, not a bashing story. But the same thing. Like DMX had really helped me through certain points in my life. And I told the pastors that I wanted to play DMX in part of like this project I was doing. And, I couldn't get the buy-in. But that's how powerful he was to me. There was different generations, so I understand that. But for me, it was a very powerful thing. ESP, I'm going to visit some trailheads and do some hiking. Then I'm going to drive through the Elkhorn and explore for a few months. ESP, Elkhorn, Alaska Canadian Highway. Okay. Well, that sounds good. You earned it. You put in your time. And you've been doing the right thing, trying to be responsible, and working and doing bunkering down, getting through the winter. You kept the flexibility. Airbnb'd it, and that's what you do. You keep your flexibility so you can change when you need to change. And but like I said, do what you can do when you can do it, because there's no guarantee. How long we live or how life unfolds. So I think we're all kind of realizing that at this point in our journeys. So like they say, make hay when you can make hay, because as you get older, you look back and you say, wow, all these different times I've been through. And, it's amazing. Take a hydration break. Yeah, but overall, I mean, I think about it too. DMX had this. He was on this TV series with Yvonne or whatever, My Life, and I think about his son and him were arguing, and they couldn't meet eye to eye. And I think that the lady Yvonne, she was trying to help because she was trying to say that he needs boundaries, but I hope his son has peace too, because I know they had a strained relationship because of the drug use, and I know a couple people in that situation too, where because of the drug use, it severed the relationship. And it's understandable because you got to have boundaries, but doesn't still mean that person, even if they were a drug addict, wasn't, they're still God used them. And you pray they're in a better place, because again, you got to have boundaries, and then you also got to have grace, and you got to, figure out. It's a very tough thing to figure out, but, tonight, this is something I reflect on, and I'm 40 now. I'll be 41 this year, God willing, I'll make it there. And, 10 years, it's amazing, that 10-year difference, and you start to inch your way up, and Fred, yeah, RIP DMX, definitely, man. Shout out to Brooklyn. Yeah, DMX was from Yonkers, I believe, Yonkers. So, all part of that like tri-state area. And yeah, him and the Locks, used to have some of the songs on the mixtapes and everything. That's how they came out. That was a special time. It was a golden era in hip hop, maybe. Pluto, Pay to Nolan, same. A lot of the song was on repeat. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, definitely his first few albums, they were Christmas albums for me. So, and I was grateful for them. And, obviously I've experienced interactions with people that struggle with drugs my whole life. Um, and I understand it. As I get older, I understand it more. And, again, what can you do? What can you say? What can any of us say in life? As far as like, I don't know, all I know is that, I just pray for, God's grace on those who need it. We all need it. I pray for one day at a time. Try to remember the good. There's always going to be bad. And we persevere as best we can. Keep going forward. Try to do as much as you can within that day to go forward. The next day is, sometimes we start to think, and even I got caught in that algorithm. You start to think that, you got all this time. And I remember that's what the guy who invited me to pray for his wife had said. He was really struggling the days after, understandably so. He lost his wife. He said, Sam, what really eats me up is, we were 55, so we were saying, well, we'll retire at 60 and we'll build this cabin in Pennsylvania. And he goes, we thought we had more time. And, I share with you guys, the average life expectancy is 80, but that doesn't guarantee any of us, even if we live 100% healthy and make all the right decisions, that doesn't guarantee any of us that we live to 80. We don't know from day to day. So, all I could tell you is just do what you can. And be thankful for what you can. And hopefully, these thoughts and this reflection on DMX and life in general help you. Help me. Again, be grateful. And, wish there was a magic answer. I wish there was no uncertainty. I wish there was just good stuff in life, But, what can you do? Again, just do what you can. But outside of that, guys, that's what I really felt today. That's all I wanted to share. I'll take a hydration break. If you guys got anything else, let me know. And we keep pushing forward to spring here. I'm sure it's going to get warmer and warmer wherever you guys are. Starting to heat up in Florida. And, that's that. Kathy, hey, Kathy, Sam, how was your day? Overall was good. I'm thankful. How was your day in Chicago, Kathy? Good to see you. How's the weather up there? Yeah. So, this weekend, I'm not sure. I was going to go maybe look at an RV. I may do that. We'll see. I'm going to take it one day at a time right now. Get through today. I'm going to take a shower and relax a little bit and just keep pushing forward. That's where I'm at right now. That's how I'm feeling right now. Thank you guys and girls again for joining. Twist, I appreciate you. Andre, Pluto, Brandon, Peyton Nolan, thank you very much for your gracious chats. Wandering Off, a.k.a. Aline, Wendy, ESP, Jared, Fred, ESP said travel trailer because I still don't see a Class B or Class C. So I was going to look at a small travel trailer, whether I'm going to tow it or just put it on a lot. That's probably my biggest debate at this point. But I want to start to, I don't know. I have a tough time committing. You know what I mean? That's my problem with that. So, but right, yeah. This weekend I'm probably a small travel trailer. Whether or not I tow it or just put it on a lot, that's the question. Kathy, weather is getting warm. Good. I took a walk today. It feels good. If you can walk, that's a huge blessing in life. Adam, what's up, brother? How you feeling, Adam? I watched your video today. How you feeling, brother? Adam had COVID. He's recovering. How you feeling? His girlfriend had it too. Pat, hey, Pat. Sam, have you been to Ocala National Forest? Is it beautiful? I've never been there. It's in the central north part of Florida. It's not my thing because I like to be by the beach. But I've never been to that forest. ESP. Have you seen the new electric Hummers? No, I haven't. I've seen the Broncos, and I saw now they got the Wranglers that are electric, and again I think by 2025, every every manufacturer will have at least one model of car that's electric within their lineup. Pat, we'll be camping in grizzly bear country. Any advice? Yeah, hard tent, bear spray, and the grace of God. That's what I tell you. But Adam will probably give you better advice than that. I'm not really an outdoor forest guy. Adam, that's Adam's calling. I'm not. That's not really my thing. So I've never done that. I went to Vermont one time. I went camping in the mountains, and just not my thing. Adam says, feeling weird today. Been having headaches today. Thought I was doing better, but not sure. Supposed to get back to work on Monday. Well, Adam, I'm praying for you. I watched your video today. Again, Adam had COVID. His girlfriend had COVID. She was in the hospital. I had a good friend of mine. He's 38. He had COVID. His girlfriend had COVID. She went to the hospital. So, all I could tell you is one day at a time, brother. I feel for you. Just keep a lot of water. Do the best you can. Praying for you, man. Twister, what do you think of the Bronco? I think it looks very nice. I like the light blue color. I actually seen one in person. I've seen two in person so far, and I actually like them. I think they look very nice. They're almost like a Jeep Renegade, but a little bit bigger. But I don't think I would get it. But I think it looks beautiful. I don't know. I'm looking at a Kia Niro. I'm looking at a couple different things. If I get a new car, I want to try to be under 30 grand. And I want it to have a tow capacity of around at least 3,000 pounds so I could tow a light travel trailer or just put the travel trailer on the lot. And if a hurricane comes, be able to move it. ESP, don't keep food in your vehicle or tent. Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point, ESP. And also, if you're in Florida, don't keep food in your car because in the summer, the bugs will come. And I had that happen to me 2 summers ago, and it was a disaster. And that's a good point, ESP. Adam, sad day. DMX passing was one of my favorite rappers. He was a legend. He had his demons with drugs, but he also was a child of God where you felt that he was connected and that he gave encouragement to get through a day. And he gave it all he had. He was who he was, very honest about who he was, and you got to give him credit for that. He never tried to act holier than thou. He never tried to. He was always honest, pretty much. Obviously we're not his family, but he was pretty honest with the public. And again, sharing your life publicly is not easy. So I give him a lot of credit, man. I'm a very, in the big scheme of things, I'm a very small YouTuber. I got about 18,000 subs. But after getting a taste of being in the public, I have a whole new level of respect, for everyone that's in the public, from actors to artists, politicians, whoever. It's just like I used to kind of mock Kim Kardashian them a lot, and look, I don't agree with a lot of this stuff, but I have a different level of empathy now, being on the other side of the screen, and the responsibility that kind of comes with it sometimes, and sometimes failing in that responsibility. But it's a very tough thing to share your life and to be in the zone, to share what you need to share. It's tough. Twister, Honda CVR hybrid. I'm thinking I would like a plug-in hybrid, not a full electric, but a one that can get electric and work as a hybrid, like a Kia Niro plug-in. Or a Prime, Prius Prime, or RAV4 Prime. Twister, I don't know the towing capacity of that. I don't know either. Probably not much, though. Let's see. Towing capacity of CVRE hybrid. I don't know if it's going to tell me. It doesn't tell me. I'm not sure. Andre, Sam, my wife, my 2 nieces, one is only 3 weeks old, a nephew and my sister-in-law all tested positive this week. I'm feeling good. I only had a small headache yesterday. That's it. Andre, your family tested positive for COVID? Is that what you're saying? Oh, I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully they're feeling okay and it's not that serious. Did you test positive too? Oh yeah, you said Sam, me and my wife and two nieces. Oh yeah, only 3 weeks old. My nephew and my sister. ESP. I have to say, Kim took lemons and made lemonade. She did, when she had that sex tape with Ray J, and then she pretty much made a career. But she put in the work. Her and her family put in the work, and they shared their life, and they entertained. I mean, I remember many nights watching with my mom, and they entertained. And we don't have to agree with everything, but they entertained society. She made a multi-billion business out of the scandal that would have ruined most people. She showed up. Monica Lewinsky should have followed Kim's lead. Yeah, it's true. That's a tough thing. Kim's mother used to just say, "Own it." And then her family comes from that whole legacy of, Kim Kardashian's father was the lawyer, one of the lawyers that defended O.J. Simpson, and he eventually died of cancer. I don't know how old he was. He might have been in his 50s. So, it's crazy. Twista. I just looked it up. Oh, okay, it's 1,500 pounds. Yeah, thank you, Twista. Yeah, I would say you want about 3,000 pounds. Most, if you're going to get a travel trailer, you want it to be self-contained. So if you get hurt or if there's a major issue, that at least you can just bunker down. And usually most self-contained units, they're going to be at least 2,000 and 2,500 pounds. So, you really, more than likely want to try to get that 3,000 pound and up rating. That's not easy. Take hydration break. Yeah, how you let me know some more details, Andre, if you want to share. Love to you, brother. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Just pushing forward as best I can, one day at a time, one step I can do. And there's so many things out there that I don't know. I really don't. Andre, yes, my kid, she tested negative. Thank God. Well, thank God. Yeah, thank God. I hope everything works out for you and your family. And some of that's scary, man. All this is scary a little bit. So we just got to take it one day at a time, and just go from there. So, but thank you, brother, for sharing. I'm praying for you and your family, like I'm praying for Adam, praying for all of us. And that was what DMX was doing too. Just praying through the good and the bad times. So, like I said, guys, that's what I feel in my soul tonight. I hope that helped you in some way. I will see you in the next video, God willing. Keep pushing forward and go from there. Thank you.